safety of Hindu temples in Bangladesh. India has strongly condemned the demolition of the Durga temple in Dhaka, criticizing the role of Mohammad Yunus-led interim government. The Ministry of External Affairs, in its statement, has said that the interim government of Bangladesh allowing the destruction of the temple by projecting it as a case of illegal land use. The temple was demolished by the Yunus administration on Thursday morning, 2 days after a large mob threatened to bring it down. As per reports, the Durga Mandir in Dhaka was demolished based on an order issued by the Bangladesh Railway Dhaka division. As bulldozers carried out the demolition, Hindu men and women who were present at the site were seen breaking down in tears. A huge contingent of army and police officers had arrived at the temple to the premises to carry out the demolition order. The cries of the Hindu devotees fell on deaf ears as the bulldozers proceeded to bring down the structure. The Ministry of External Affairs underlined that it is the duty of the Yunus-led interim government of Bangladesh to protect the Hindus and ensure safety of their places of worship. Listen in to what the MEA spokesperson said.
We understand that extremists were clamoring for demolishing the Durga temple in Khilkhet, Dhaka. The interim government, instead of providing security to the temple, projected the episode as illegal land use and they allowed the destruction of the temple today. This has resulted in damage to the deity before it was shifted. We are dismayed that such incidents continue to reoccur in Bangladesh. Let me underline that it is the responsibility of the interim government of Bangladesh to protect Hindus, their properties and religious institutions.
So, viewers, Sonia Gandhi and several other leaders had accused Modi government of being silent on the devastation in Gaza and Israel attack on Iran. In an op-ed article, Sonia Gandhi had accused the government of departing from India's long-standing moral and diplomatic traditions. But when it comes to Hindus of Bangladesh, the opposition leaders aren't as vocal as they are for Gaza and Iran. At best, we only hear token condemnation over the plight of Hindus in Bangladesh. But in the latest case of the Dhaka temple demolition, there is stoic silence from the opposition leaders. Why? We leave it upon you to ponder. Us on the broadcast with the details. Sabyasachi, take us through the details of the temple that was demolished in Bangladesh. This is an issue that India has raised time and again at the highest levels of the protection of minorities, of the Hindus in Bangladesh.
Well, that's right, Pratibha. See, the Durga temple that was demolished in the capital, Dhaka. Now, this temple was not built yesterday. This temple was half a century old, and people over there had a lot of sentiments towards the temple. Now, 2 days before, there was a huge demonstration, and protesters had threatened that they are going to demolish the temple and they are going to kill everybody over there. Now, immediately after 2 days, there was this order that was passed by the railway authority in Bangladesh that it is the temple has been built on railway land and it needs to be demolished. Now, after there was protest from and demonstration outside the temple, in fact, the Hindus over there reached out to the police, but they did not get any help. Now, in fact, the devotees also reached out to the administration, stating that today is the Rath Yatra and the Rath Yatra should be allowed to take out, and after that they can demolish the temple. But a huge contingent of army and police personnel was seen over there. The army was called in from the Purvachal army camp in Dhaka, and they demolished the temple with bulldozer. And they didn't even stop over there. They very mercilessly crushed the idols of goddess Kali as well as Lord Shiva in front of the devotees, and that's what, when the devotees had broken down and tears started coming out. So this clearly shows the mindset of the Bangladeshi regime of the interim government as well. It shows that how the Jamaat influence and the radicalized influence are taking over the country of Bangladesh, as well as time and again the minorities are coming under attack from different groups in Bangladesh. And that is the very reason why the MEA also had issued a very strong statement stating that they condemn such incident, and they asked the interim government that it it is their duty to protect the interest of the minorities, to protect the interest of the Hindus over there. But it is also surprising, Pratibha, to see that back home here, when we see that strong reaction coming in support of Gaza, several opposition parties like the Congress, the CPIM coming out in support of Gaza, but they have absolutely not issued any sort of statement about the atrocities that is taking place in Bangladesh against Hindus.
Okay, absolutely, Sabyasachi. Very, very vocal on Palestine and the issues in Gaza, and yet refusing to speak up for the Hindus who are suffering in Bangladesh. So the opposition finds itself in a spot with the BJP also raising this issue time and again. If you can speak for Gaza and Palestine, why not speak up for the Hindus who are suffering in Bangladesh? Thank you for joining us with those details. Well, viewers, we're just a little less than a year away from the assembly polls in West Bengal. For Mamata Banerjee, she is fighting